Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Claudia Jordan Settled for a Man Who Makes Less. Let's get right into it.
I hold my friends accountable. I think you're not a good friend if you don't hold your friends accountable. And if you just go and co-sign their BS, you're not helping your friend grow and be a better person.
Right.
So if my friends are violating and thinking, like, again, even when if a woman says that same, I need a man that has this, that, and the other, and they're not bringing anything to the table, sis, you're out of pocket.
Yeah.
Because you can't be one-sided, and that goes for men and women. It's the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people that are bringing nothing, and they demand the utmost of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women as well.
But I don't think men can take it. I don't think they can take not being the man in the relationship, the one that's holding it down. I have a friend, sorry to put her business out, but I have a friend that she's more successful than her guy. And he always say little things like, oh, when you do this, you probably gonna leave me. You probably gonna, you know what I mean? He always on guard, feeling like you feel like you don't need me, or it's always a really insecurity in him not having more money than her, even though she loves him.
But does she, and I understand that, but is it something that she's putting out there at the forefront, or is it just him running with how he feels because he simply, is insecure?
I feel that it's insecurity.
Okay. And the only reason I said that is, and I mean, I think Dr. Spirit, you perhaps can elaborate on it. There are some women who, for instance, I know of a woman who pretty much would talk to her man. And he was exemplifying the color purple. He was Seeley in this situation, so to speak. And she would talk to him very harshly and in public. And I think that, the dynamics of the relationship were going to be tough for them to stay together. And I mean, apparently recently they just kind of, he moved out. But I think that, sometimes it's a little hard depending on that interaction, if it's not really, a clear understanding, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be, just because you're making more money, obviously, because sometimes at different points you might be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's all about what he's bringing to the table, clearly, and I think you can see past some
It
things.
shouldn't be competition in your relationship.
You know what's funny? It's interesting to see Claudia Jordan have a different tone of voice, right? I just did a video on her, and, it looks like she got a man since the video we've made. And we're going to get to that part in the clip, but I'm trying to figure out, why did she change? Is it because she knows her man, makes less? And we're going to get to that part of the clip. You didn't see that yet. Or it's because she's around men. Maybe she talks spicy when she's with her girls. Men, we talk differently when we're around our boys. I won't lie. Some women don't understand that a real player comes off like a gentleman amongst girls, but when he's amongst his boys, he's like, man, I don't listen to what that ish says. You know what I'm saying? He talks spicy around his boys. So, locker room talk, right? I want to address what this girl's saying. I don't know who the hell this girl is, and she has diamond chain on. She's a stereotypical black girl. This is from I guess a podcast in Atlanta, right? Stereotypical black girl, big chain, big weaves, big eyelashes. She's just the usual. She said that she doesn't think that men can handle not being the man, and I guess she means they can't handle not being the provider, right? The main provider. I got a response to that. My response is, not every man is alpha. Okay, men are not a monolith. I know women think that, but we're not. Okay? There's gay men. There's straight men. There's bi men, which we still think are gay. You know what I'm saying? But they're calling themselves bi. There's men that want to become women. Men are not a monolith. Okay? We're not. So there's men who are alpha. There's men who are beta. There's men who are entrepreneurs. There's men who are good employees. Not every man wants to be the same thing, so you can't say a man, what makes a man feel like the man, that's your anecdotal experience. I hate when I see this, because the assumption is every man wants to become a CEO, every man wants to become a business owner. Not every man does, and not every man's cut out for that. Not every man's cut out to be alpha. Some of them actually strive being a beta, letting the girl go first. I know a lot of men like this. Right? And I know it sounds rare to women, but a lot of men feel more comfortable with the girl leading, and they feel secure in their relationship that way. And honestly, they're actually probably built to be in more relationships than an alpha man, because more women are masculine than they are feminine. And an alpha man wants a feminine woman. So that's just my take on that. Hey, listen up, Shape Squad. Are you tired of being ignored by women? Well, download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut up. It's going to teach you how to master attraction, build unshakable confidence, and win with women without words. Because chances are you're not ugly. You just talk too damn much. So download my free ebook, Be Attractive and Shut Up, and take control of your dating life right now. Now let's get right back to the content.
If you're looking at your person and saying like you kind of side-eyeing them because of like they're doing better, you just need to end that relationship. It's gonna go downhill from there.
And if, as a woman that's more successful than a man, I think you made that decision to get with that man knowing his status. So do not take work home and talk to your man as he's less than, he's your employee,
right,
or like you're his boss. And you have to be able to know how to turn that off, because you wouldn't want a successful man talking down to you because you don't make as much money as him right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think that's wrong as well. But also, who wants to compete with their mate?
Well, see, and then that's to that point. When it becomes a competition, then your relationship is already doomed.
Yeah.
Right? Because what happens is we miss out on the two becoming one. Mm-hmm. And if two never really become one, then you're doomed to fail. So what I talk to couples about is really about, it's not what I bring to the table and what you bring to the table. Where is your half? Are you matching? Are you meeting me? It is, what are we pooling together? Because if you've got $10 and this is your husband and he's got $6, it's not you got 10 and he's got 6. It's you guys have 16. And your 16 can buy a whole lot more than your 10 alone or his 6. And so if we are not collectively having the shared vision of where we are trying to go into our forevers are going to part ways. It's just the way that it works. And so we really have to be on the same page, but that's what compatibility is all about when you talk about that.
Is it ever really 50-50 though, Dr. Spirit?
It's never 50-50. It's never. And the other part of that is, do you warrant that which you seek? So to your point, when you say these women come and they say, well, I want a man who has this and this and this. Well, what do you bring to the table that complements that is going to nurture that is going to grow, foster, and further develop that? But then also, do you understand what you're asking for? You say you want a doctor who's a surgeon. Do you recognize what that lifestyle really looks like? You love a man in uniform. You want a firefighter. Do you realize that he's going to be gone or she's going to be gone 4 days a week at the fire station? Are you really ready for that life? And so oftentimes we don't really have a real idea of what it is that we're asking for. And we're not prepared to step into those places to really grow and continue those relationships.
I want to stop her. She is cooking. Woo! Oh my God. She even asks, do you warrant what you ask for? Right? What do you bring to the table? A lot of women like to say that only broke men ask what do you bring for the table. This lady, she's clearly like some kind of relationship counselor. She's talking about what you bring to the table. Do you warrant what you ask for? And that's all we're saying. We get demonized every time we want to know what we're getting out of the deal. Y'all want us to just pay for everything, and we can't ask what we get for it? Hey man, come over here. You want an apartment? All right, $1,500 a month. All right, what am I getting for it? Oh man, you broke. You asking about it. That's what it sounds like when we hear women push back at us. Like, we can't ask what we're getting for. Y'all don't have. Anytime people say stuff like that, it's because they're not bringing anything to the table. So it's funny that I hear this white lady and Claudia both go against the sisterhood, which was that, you know what I'm saying, big eyelashes, big weave, you know what I'm saying, dog chain type of girl. And she's talking about how, oh man, feels like he's competing. I know several men right now where their girl makes more and they're in a happy relationship. I know several men who they make more, but their girl is the one that wears the pants and they're in a happy relationship. Listen, man, not every two people are the same. They're not. Stop approaching life like there's only one type of guy that exists and there's only one type of girl that exists. I know it. I've seen all types of girls. I've seen it. Okay? There's a lot of things that women have in common. A lot of women don't like to take accountability. This is true. But that doesn't mean that if she doesn't take accountability, she's masculine. Or if she doesn't, or if she takes accountability, she's feminine. There's women who are feminine that don't take accountability. There's women who are masculine that take accountability. You feel me? It just so happens accountability is a foreign language to almost all women, right? None of them can speak it. But I think what's interesting about this conversation and this topic is that it's good to hear a lot of things that men say coming out of women's mouth. I'm glad that Claudia Jordan has a change of tone. It seems like whatever man she's dating, he clearly makes less. You heard it come right out her mouth, okay? I don't know if she's paying all his bills, right? And I said that on a thumbnail to be funny, you know what I'm saying? Because, it would be just her luck, right? Or bad luck, if you will. I don't even believe in luck, I believe in Jesus. But in the expression, right, in the idiom, bad luck, that she would get a man that she would have to take care for, that she would have to provide for, since she was like, oh, I'm so tired of working and paying my bills and paying my car note and paying my mortgage and paying my mortgage insurance. And, she ended up with somebody that she got to do all that for and on top of what she's doing, Another thing she said is never 50-50. I like what this lady said. Never 50-50. Your $10 with his $16. Combine them. Yeah. So many people want a man to make $100,000, but y'all don't understand how many different varieties of income can make more than $100,000 together. Let's say, example, you make 70, he makes 50. That's 120. That's combined. You make 80, he makes 60. That's 140. I know a lot of women don't want to date down, but you got to start thinking about the combination of two people together. This is why, if you want to know why more white women, Spanish women, Asian women are more married than black women, it's because they're willing to earn more than their counterpart. They're willing to earn more than a man. Y'all all think that all these white women are stay-at-home moms and taking care and being taken care of, and they live a soft life. That's not the reality of it. That's not. There's a lot of women who earn a lot of money, and they understand that. They know it's hard to date a man on their level, and they'll optimize for something else. Like I said, a lot of these girls who make a lot of money, they might optimize for a guy who's in shape, right? Instead of dating a rich guy who makes more money than her, that got a big old bear gut, she might go for the guy who makes less, but he's in shape and he's fly, and she's really attracted to him. So she feels like she's dealing with a man who was out of her league, but because she has money and she offers something to the relationship that he can't offer, she has value. That's a great exchange. And a lot of those men I know these men personally. I know men like that personally, and they're happy with it. Because they understand, like, all right, now with our two incomes combined together, look what we got. We got $16. I had 6, you have 10, now we got 16. We could buy a lot more than I could have bought with my 6 or what you could have bought with your 10. Y'all could work together. So I think a conversation like this is very needed, and I'm happy to see Claudia Jordan is finding her way back to reality. I know it took 50 years. It took 50 years. And hopefully women could watch this so it doesn't take them 50 years as well.
It's not reality.
Good points. Jamal, with you, how important is finances in your relationships, or is it nothing? Is it never mentioned, or is it something that you think about?
I used to think about it. I used to think about it a lot. Now it's different. I mean, she's super finance. She's all, that's what we talked about. But with me, I'm from the old school. Like I said, I'm 46, so I'm in the 90s. So the way I look at it is how my father raised me to be that man that takes care of the home and all that, be a provider and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it ain't all about us having a balance that she got to bring home the bread, because she might do more than I do in the household. So for the cooking, for the cleaning, for the loving, for the nurturing, for the taking my shit, it's just the same love without the paper. So it depends on how you look at it. 'Cause I got a lot of brothers a lot of friends that be looking for the Barbies and, all that, and they come with nothing. Then I got a lot of friends who look for the old school women, or the old lady, or they old ladies, or whatever they call them, because they know they can get the nurturing, the money, the food, you know what I'm saying?
The easies.
Right, because it depends on what step and what age you are and where you at with it. I'm 46, so I'm next to the 50 goal. As men, that's a big thing. It used to be where we used to think about 30s. Like 30s was the thing. You gonna be 30? Oh man, you done. Then it was 40,
Right.
but now it's the 50. Now it's definitely 50, you gotta have it together. So me, I'd rather I got blessed for somebody with super finance, but I'd rather take the cooking, the loving, the nurturing, just being there for me than anything else.
Could you be with a woman, do you think you'd be secure in a relationship where the woman made a lot larger amount of money than you?
Oh, she killed me at times.
Yeah?
Oh, she busts me at times. She real estate. So at the end of the day, I might wake up, it might be 250,000 on the table, sitting. Me, I gotta work for mine. You see what I'm saying? For me to get 250, 300,000, whatever, I gotta do 38 days, 45 days. Like, man, to tell you, I gotta do 45 days. I gotta put work in for that. All she gotta do is connect the broker and the seller. It's different. She's been doing it 25 years. She's 55. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying?
got a grown
So
one.
our talks is more like she feel like, look, you 46, I'm 55. My question to you, do you have a problem with 55? That's where our talks are at. And I'm like, I have no problem with none of that. And it's just like she said earlier, men like me look for the nurturing, the mothers, something that we know what we want. You know, some bacon and eggs, just being on point. She's on point. I wake up every Friday, my cleanest is done, my clothes is done, I don't have to say anything. She's already there before I can do it. And even if I try to put out what I could put out, she'd be like, nah, I'm good. You see what I'm saying?
So he got an interesting setup. He's 46 dating a 55-year-old woman. Again, not all men are the same. This is something I would never do. I would never do this. Okay? I'm just being honest with you. I can't go older just because you got money. I mean, and honestly, you know, I personally want kids, so maybe I guess he has kids already and she has kids already, so he's not with the baby mother, and you know, and so maybe their arrangement is different. But still, if I had kids, and I don't even want you for kids, I still want you to be young enough to have kids, just in case I want some more. That's just how I'm looking at it. So I don't ever see the purpose of me dating a woman 9 years my senior. I don't see it. But for someone like him, who was, respect to him, he wasn't, you know, he played Biggie in the Biggie movie, right? I think his rap name is Gravy. So maybe things weren't that great for him. You know, a real estate agent could make more bread than he does. I can see that. And they can make it fast too. I got my license in New Jersey for real estate. I wasn't a successful real estate agent. I had a lot of trouble. I struggled with it, but I seen women killing it. I know a lot of girls who get the bag. 200, 300, okay? I won't lie. I just think real estate in general favors women and favors white people. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen in New Jersey. I'm not saying you can't make it as a black person in real estate. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't make it as a man in real estate. But oftentimes, I got beat. Like a lot of deals I competed for, I got beat by women. I got beat by white women. I'm just telling the truth. You know, when you think real estate agent, you might think white. Okay. But I'm doing great on YouTube, so it works out for me. You know what I'm saying? Where me being black and being a man actually benefits me. Okay. So look, a couple things I want to address as well is like, you know, modern women, he talks about how like he wants a woman to be more in a household and stuff like that. And real estate, you can have more of a flexible lifestyle like that. I could admit. So she could help out a lot at home. But I've realized a lot of modern women, they want a man who's a provider, but also someone who can help out in the house. That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of modern women who want a provider, but they also want help with household chores. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of modern women who want a provider, man, they're just lazy. So we have like the dichotomy, right? We have like two extremes. We have the lazy woman who wants to stay home and do nothing. And then we have the boss babe who's so ambitious she wants to compete against you. And that's two archetypes of women that I see nowadays, right? And so the lazy woman would try to fake try to fake her femininity. But generally, if a girl's lazy, she's not gonna be fit. She's not gonna be in a gym. Like, so you need a girl that has some kind of ambition. Like that's why I like the Bible. The Bible talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. The Proverbs 31 woman, the perfect wife, the virtuous wife. She had a lot of roles. Okay, she had a lot of roles, and it wasn't a soft life. I won't say it was a hard life. It was a tough life, but it was a rewarding life. It was a respectable life, okay? And her husband trusted her with all his heart. That's what it says in the Bible, right? So they describe the woman who, you know, wake up before the entire family and prepare them food and travel far for clean food. And she would stitch up clothing and she would go out there. And she actually did real estate too. She would buy land and all types of stuff. But she also was fit, right? They talked about her having strength in her arms. This is why y'all see me making fun of women in their arms. The reality of it is a perfect wife is going to have, you know what I'm saying, arms that got some muscle in it, some definition. I know you guys don't understand that, but my Bible understands that. So I talk about that strength in the arms. It said that in the Bible. So, you know, for me, my personal match for me won't be a woman who is lazy and just wants to stay home. I want a woman, even if she's a stay-at-home mom, she's busy. She's active. And it's not like active just having fun and shopping on Amazon and doing facials and Pilates and shit. No, I want a girl who's going to help and build and be kind of like an assistant to me in a way, right? Be like a subordinate to me in a way. And not feel like that she's weak because of it. That's the challenge right now. So many women, what they want, they don't qualify for. I like how that girl said, like, you don't warrant what you seek. A lot of women don't warrant what they seek. They seek a man who's the top guy, but they're not the top girl. To me, the top girls still have their youth. They still fertile. They work out. They're in the gym. They care about health. I need a girl who cares about health, who could sacrifice pleasure for health. A lot of women can't sacrifice pleasure for health. Okay? They sacrifice their health for pleasure. They're going to eat that because it tastes good, it feels good. I don't want a girl like that. I want a girl who says, you know what? I'm going to be disciplined. I'm not going to have that latte. I'm not going to have that donut. I'm not going to have a cheeseburger. I'm going to go have some rice and vegetables. I'm going to have some rice and beans. I'm going to eat like my man, a.k.a. me, who's plant-based, because it's the healthy way to go. Too many girls want to get drunk and sip wine because that's the popular zeitgeist amongst women. Sipping wine. Oh, I'm a grown woman. I'm sipping wine. They don't realize you've been marketed that lifestyle. I don't want a woman who's a consumer, yo. I don't want a woman who's led by marketers. I went to school for marketing. I'm telling you, a lot of people led by marketers. This whole wine, everyone loves wine. You're a woman with wine. It's so fake to me. I don't even understand. I bought a lifestyle. I bought a lifestyle, man. It was sold to you. Okay? What did I really say? Oh yeah. So look. Ultimately, I'm proud of Claudia. I'm proud of Claudia. You know, she got a man now. You know, she can't have kids or whatever. Even though I heard her talking about having cramps, so I guess she still get her period. And I guess women still get their period in their 50s or whatever she's going through. Menopausal, perimenopausal, whatever she's going through. Blessings to her. She says that she's not going to talk down on her man just because she makes more money than him, because she wouldn't want a man to talk down on her because he makes more money. I agree with that. Not everything about finance has to be predatory. The men that I know that their girl makes more, she doesn't talk down to them. They still run their house. Here's the funny part. The men that are with women that earn more money that I know some men that their woman rules them too. But I also know the men that I personally know, because the guy I'm talking about, he's not a close friend of mine. He's a friend of a friend. But the friends I have, they still run shit with their girls, even though the girls are the breadwinner. Because a lot of these girls, they're just in careers that make money. They're not really masculine like that. They're more feminine, but they just happen to be in a career field where they make more money. And I knew a girl like that was making more money than me at the time. And I still, you know what I'm saying? She had an apartment. I didn't. I lived at home. And we were together, but I still made the decisions. Like, all right, we're going to buy this. This is what we're going to do with the money. You know, and she was fine with it. She was just happy to have me. Right? I was like her pool boy. She was just happy to come home and have a man she found attractive in her bedroom. She didn't feel alone. You know, she liked the fact that I was smart. I challenged her. She, you know what I'm saying? And she had her way. She was not some dummy. She had opinions, and we're still friends today. We're not together. We're still friends today. I respect that girl. And if she watches, she's going to know who I'm talking about. Okay? Homegirl. She actually has a boyfriend now, so shout out to her. Anyway, all I'm saying is we could work together no matter who makes more income, and people got to decide what they want. And you want to be the person that wears the pants in a relationship, well, date a man who don't mind that you wearing the pants. If I want to wear the pants, I got to date a girl who don't mind that I wear pants and not be upset at it, right? Not be mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It just, honestly, going out there and find people who are compatible with you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not all about fighting and arguing about nonsense. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos. And I'll see y'all over there.